X-rays cause cancer. All sonograms cause cancer. All Dopplers cause cancer. This is all in the government accounting office publication. I wrote the number in my book, Nutricide, for those who want to order it. It's free, and they'll list all the medical procedures that cause cancer. In other words, cause tumors, fibroids that destroy the black woman's womb. So, we have what we call partial abortions, where they can abort the child up to 7th, 8th, or 9th month. The issue is, if you want to murder a child in that stage of, in that trimester, you have to leave the head in the wound, and then you can call it abortion. So what they do is they leave the baby in, grab it by some forceps, which they call pliers. A layman would call them pliers. The medical people call their pliers forceps. So they grab the child with these forceps and yank the child out. Then the forceps were devised in European rituals and ceremonies because they thought the woman was evil and the man didn't want to put his hand on her vagina. But we know that he did something to get the child there, but in this ritual, they don't want to touch the vagina. So they take these pliers, clamp the child, and pull the child out of the womb. Then they get the head right to the opening of the uterus, which some people call some people call the cervix. Then they push the scissors, push it into the back of the skull, puncture into the skull, then open up the scissors, which makes a hole, and they stick a little hose inside of the skull, which is like a hose, like a tube, and it sucks the brain out, and then the skull collapses, and then they pull the baby out. This is called a partial abortion, a late-term abortion. And then they sell the parts. They use fetus to make vaccination and inoculation shots, and they also use the organs, the tissue for transplants, because African children's skin is the most flexible and it can mate with other tissue more easily than any other race, so they sell a lot of these parts.
Okay, boys and girls, that was some really hard, cold truth there. Presented to you by Dr. Laila Africa. At least I call him Laila because that's how I read his name. So there you have it. You know, I'm not talking about anything except truth. Not morality, not this is wrong or whatever. What is the message here? Well, it's showing you the nature of the beast. I mean, can you imagine doing that to a baby? Or however else you want to describe a beginning stage of life. And number two, they're using the black baby fetuses. And they use it for cosmetics. And I saw a YouTube commercial promoting some kind of cream, collagen cream. And of course, that was just at random. I couldn't replay that commercial. But at the end, it flashed a black person. So, you know, that's like, admitting that substance is coming from a black person. Boys and girls, the energy of whatever you are composed of can be transformed, and I don't want to say harnessed, but it can be transformed and put into another form, a preservative form, that will have a temporary effect because it's all energy. So just like you can take some tea leaves, green leaves, because that's actually how you're supposed to drink tea. The universe decoded that for me. You're not supposed to drink brown tea, brown leaves. Brown leaves have been burned. They have been burned. They have been cooked. Green has the oxygen preserved in it. So even if it got dried by the sun, it still has some level of the chlorophyll and energy captured from the electromagnetic field, the universal electromagnetic field. So I just looked up to get some green tea. Even though I do like drinking regular tea, the green one is the one that you're really supposed to have. So, your anything, this is my last message to you. You are being used for melanin. Your energy transforms. It doesn't disappear. You're on the material plane. You're in the material world. Your body has an incarnation, a material incarnation. And there's a formula to your DNA. So whatever energetic principles that are in that DNA, they can preserve that shit. Now, do I know how they do it? No. But I think we can just kind of use common sense. They do it the same way you do any other natural product. You dry it out, you crush it up, and you make it into a powder. A powder. Then you add another additive that would make it into a cream or a pill form. Yeah, a pill, which I don't know how pills are made. But obviously, there's some kind of binding agent. Some kind of binding agent. You just stir it up and put the powder in there, stir it up, and it will harden like chalk. Ladies and gentlemen, the cosmetic industry, selling, promoting collagen therapy, tanning lotions, tanning pills. You used to be able to research that online very easily, but now they scrubbed a lot of it off because there was white people, bragging about how brown they can get. And it wasn't no damn spray on tan. They actually have injections of melanin. And of course, they call it something else. I don't know the name. I should try to write down the names because they always change it. But anything that's like, the catch-all that they use for melanin is hormones. Hormones. Anything talking about hormones, hormone therapy, hormones are just the biological immune system and the energy that's in your blood. So it's your immune system, it's actually a liquid that is not a pure liquid, but it's actually like gel, not thick gel, but it's like slime, because your blood actually has a sliminess to it, and that's the plasma part of it. They want the plasma. They're not getting the red stuff. They want the plasma out of it. So anyway, that plasma, that semi-jelly, slippery substance, has a divine cosmic energy, and it regulates your nervous system. And obviously your nervous system regulates everything. That's why I said that. So it regulates every biological function in your body. And obviously your different organs work together, and they're emitting different hormones, but it's all melanin working together. That's my point. And the melanin is the God energy that is directing your existence and trying to keep things in balance. The melanin is saying, hey, this original melanin on an indigenous person, it works like this. Eyebrows, this is how much hair you grow. And you don't overgrow this area. Lower extremity area, this is the kind of hair that you grow down here, okay? It's different hair than what's on your head. And that also is regulated. But I tell you what, if you start cutting stuff too much, the melanin will increase its effort to keep things in balance, and it's going to grow more. So this is what I witnessed. You know, unless you can keep your lower extremities shaved all the damn time, you're going to find, at least I found, that the hair down there will grow more. So if if there was hair down there, there's a reason for it. Because it's doing a job. The hair follicles itself is wisping away and giving away for your toxins to be moved out, away for your sweat glands to wick out sweat. And the hair follicle itself is a living, it has a root, okay? The top doesn't have feeling, obviously, but down in that root does, and it's doing something down there. It's doing something down there. So anyway, I will just close this topic. You know, I'm trying to listen for Laila Africa about some herbs, the names of some herbs. But I just thought, you know what? He's saying something very powerful here. I want to capture something while I'm listening to him. So we all know that we're at the end times here. And you probably getting a tonal sound in your ear. Do not go to the doctor. That is a frequency download from the universe to upgrade your DNA. And how do I know that? How am I even saying such a thing? From Bobby Hemmit. Bobby Hemmit explained this in one of his lectures. And I have a very high and frequent experience of that tonal sound. And what's interesting is I made a video also that I caught a news program talking about this very thing. But they're trying to tell you to go to the doctor, and then they're trying to tell you got ear cancer. Or excuse me, nose cancer. Because they're not going to tell you ear cancer, because then you're going to be like, what? Nose cancer? That already exists. You know, the throat, the nose, okay. Even though the ear is connected to the nose and throat, people still, they're not going to accept if they said there was ear cancer. I think they wouldn't. So they disguised it and said, oh, this black person, now there's going to be an increase in black people having nose cancer. And you know what's a symptom of that? You're going to hear a tonal sound in your ear. So if you hear that, that's one of the symptoms that you probably have nose cancer. So go to the doctor. That was on the news. And the reason I say the news is because they're all the fucking same. Your little local channel is sent their little fake stories to broadcast and to make people think this whole world is in chaos 24/7. At this point, it almost is, but it, in reality, you step out and look at the trees and you look up at the sky, minus chemtrails, and you will be stepping away from the madness that is coming through that fucking TV. That they're perpetrating, not really perpetrating, that's the wrong word. Let's say they're propagating. They're propagating madness on the news, on TV, period. I mean, like I said, I did want this to be the last. I'm near about for this to be the last. Even though I have audios, I still need to make a video too, or upload. This is gonna be the last. I'm gonna have to, step back from this. But I wanted to share Laila Africa with you, who, by the way, of course, is a victim just like Uncle Sabi. They killed Uncle Sabi, and they killed Brother Africa. Cousin Africa, how about that? Or we can call him Uncle. They killed him. You know, they at this point, they're killing anybody that says a slice of truth. I mean, like, actually, this isn't at this point. They've always done that. And they all usually let them speak, you know. They let them speak for a while, a long while. They let them have a career and all that. And then one day, they are gone, just like Jamie Foxx. I mean, they just let him dissipate out into nothing. Nobody's even talking about him. Anyway, the ancestors, let the downloads keep coming. Upgrade this DNA for the total transformation. And boys and girls, your sentiments need to be that you're ready for this world to be finished. Bring on the destructive powers and energies of destruction. There's no other word for it, destruction. I was trying to think of another word. No, creation, destruction, or decreation. And eradicate this virus. You know what a virus is, boys and girls? You know how they make viruses? Well, they get a healthy cell, and I'm sure it's a cell from a melanated person, and they empty out what is in that cell, and they inject toxins, poisons, whatever the fuck, and then they let the cell multiply. Boys and girls, I was researching something, and I'm sorry I didn't document it. I was researching cloning. Cloning is not easy to do, and they do not clone a full-grown person. They cannot grow a full-grown person. You have to start at birth. They would have to, the aging process, you can't skip through that. So, you can get a person, but it's going to take 20 years or whatever for it to be an adult. So, what they said, though, is that there's a frequency. There's a certain very specific frequency that merges the cells together. And I don't remember how many times it took for them to get that dolly sheep to be cloned. But it takes many, 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 many times. It's not something that they just can do like a factory. Because you're dealing with the cosmic frequency of creation. But you're just using the formula, the frequency formula, because you killed the damn seed. You've killed the seed. So, I'm going to put a period right there. I've spoken about a few things. We wish for you, we will have increased consciousness.